What's up, YouTube? We back again.
Yes, we are finally back again. Had to take another small hiatus, but that's okay.
Yep, it happens. And we got a special series of videos coming up. So this is going to be a couple topics that we kind of covered in our journal, but we're going to break them down piece by piece.
Yeah, definitely, because I think it's information that needs to be talked about it. And on top of that, there's people leaving this religion every day.
Yeah.
And if not this religion, a different high control cult-like group.
Yeah, and so this is helping a lot of people in a nutshell, especially Jehovah's Witnesses. And the one we have today is, how does this religion affect your psyche?
Yeah.
That sometimes you don't even realize what all comes with being in a cult. Like once you leave in the cult, it's things that you don't even realize affected you by being in it. Because it's like, it's kind of like you were in a dazed or hypnotized or just zoned out in another world, and you snap out of it, and it's like, what did I just go through? It's not a normal experience to go through.
No, and that's why a lot of people call it waking up, because all of a sudden it feels like a dream, you know? Like, and you look back and you're like, man, how did I believe these things? And even looking back at some, like with what we do and talking about this religion and doing, you know, some research here and there about the current events that are happening, we can so easily look at it and be like, this is such a joke. Like, how did we believe any of this? You know, but whenever you're in it, it's like you're in it.
Especially, it's a lot worse when you have a family that passes it down, because you never got a chance to really think for yourself. Most people don't. That's
a good point.
You know, you were born into this. You were indoctrinated as a baby versus the people who are indoctrinated as adults.
Yeah.
It's a lot different. So sometimes, like we put it, you never had a chance from the get-go.
Right, because you're not born with that ability to like critically think. You're automatically born into a system of like control.
Yeah, that could work in a negative way. Like if you teach a baby to steal from the moment they born, they would never have the idea that what I'm doing is wrong, because my family is teaching me to do this.
Right, it's normal.
Now, if you've been following us for a while, we did mention this in a video a long time ago. And also when we went to DC, we kind of broke this down, but I'm sure everybody didn't get to see it. So we'll break down what's behind the ideas in these religions, because most of us are just regular people. We don't understand psychology or the people who create cults or learn how to control groups of people for their own benefit. They go a lot deeper into how the mind works and how people are affected by things. Yep, and the average person thinks nothing about it. So we pulled up Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? And at the very bottom is physiological needs. So what is that exactly? Most people don't know the details of something like that.
Right.
That includes your air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, reproduction. That's your basic needs just to be alive as an individual. You can't live without water or food, and you need shelter. You can live without shelter, but it's very difficult.
Yeah.
So this is some of the basic things you need just to be alive. And we'll tie in how the cult comes into play.
Yeah, and you know what's actually sad about this tier 2 is that not even just people that are in the cult, but like a lot of people nowadays are so like bombarded and buried by bills and the economy and things that are happening like right now today that are affecting their living situations, that you don't get a second to like stop and think about what's actually going on, like how you're being indoctrinated in different ways, you know, whether that be religion, politics, media, all these ways we're indoctrinated. And we don't get a second to think, because we're in this like hamster wheel of life, like just going, like we gotta go to work, gotta pay this bill. And we're just humans out here living, like what the heck? So within the religion, a lot of people know somebody who has been kicked out of their home for not following, you know, the rules of this religion. Like they live with their parents are Jehovah's Witnesses, and you're not doing everything by the book, so you got to go, you know? And that's actually what the religion ends up teaching them as well, is that you can't, you know, if they're of age and things, you can't just continue to have somebody in the household that's not trying to follow God's will.
Yep. And you can have a teenager who doesn't believe it, and they like, all right, I have to figure out a way for me to be myself and not be a part of this religion, but I'll first have to figure out how I'm going to survive.
Yeah.
Yep. And you shouldn't have to worry about stuff like that at a 15, 16-year-old that's waking up. That's not normal.
And it's sad because it actually even happens as people get older, you know? Like if you think about a husband and a wife who were Jehovah's Witnesses, and like one wakes up and is like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore, you know? And say it's the husband, for example, that's like done, like they're not doing this anymore, wife wants a divorce, you know, whatever the case may be, and now the husband is out and by himself, maybe has to pay alimony, you know, to the wife, and now they're stuck in a different kind of living situation than they once were,
all because of a call.
Okay, so the next tier is going to be your safety needs. So this includes your personal security, your employment, resources, health, and property. I think that this is a really important one because just simply like your personal security, we already kind of talked about this. It ties into physiological needs too, but also employment. Like we all know that Jehovah's Witnesses are encouraged not to pursue secondary schooling, and how much can you really be able to provide for yourself if you don't have some kind of secondary schooling or trade or something?
Yep, I agree. And like you said, they influence everybody not to focus on that. And so you, without this, or you being a part of this religion, you don't have as many options as everybody else.
Yeah.
I remember it was a brother, he might have been like in his 50s, and he had just a regular delivery job.
Yeah.
And was good with hands-on things, but that takes up too much time.
Yeah.
So this person may go their whole life and wake up at 60 and it's like, dang, I haven't been prepared for this at all.
Yeah.
But the religion controls your finances like that.
Oh, it absolutely does. And you're taught even from the beginning not to really put finances as a priority, even though you need it to like sustain your life in this world. So it should be one of the priorities for you to become an adult, you know? And thankfully, I learned about money whenever I was like, you know, in my like 19, 20 years old. I wanted to learn about financial literacy. And it's like they don't teach you, and they almost don't want you to learn. They just want you to know about pursuing kingdom interests. And that's what they put as number one priority. Rely on Jehovah. Jehovah will have your back. Like, that's what it is.
Yep. Our next tier is love and belonging. So that includes friendship, intimacy, family, sense of connection. And if you think about Jehovah's Witnesses, this is like one of their main ones they focus on.
Yeah.
Your friendship and your family and your sense of connection. If you wake up from Jehovah's Witnesses, what is the first thing you lose?
Your family,
your
friends, your connection.
Yep, that's the reason that you have something called a PMO, physically and mentally out. Physically, you go into the hall, you going in service, but mentally, you know this is not the truth. But the 9 times out of 10, what's holding you back is, dang, I'm going to lose my family. Dang, I'm going to lose all the people that I thought was my friends all this time. And even though I know this is a bunch of crap, I have to keep coming. I have to pretend to be somebody I'm not, simply so I don't lose what? My love and belonging. And the people behind this cult know that. That's why they have these rules. And they refuse to get rid of things like the shunning rule. Simply because how are we going to control y'all? If we don't have something to hold you back on, to guilt trip you like, I do what we say, or you ain't going to be able to talk to your mama. You ain't going to be able to talk to your kids. You ain't going to have your friends. You're going to lose everybody. It's like, dang, all right, I'll do what you say simply for this. I'll keep my truth to myself simply because y'all hovering this over me.
Yeah, and the truth is even in the indoctrination process, like this is for, imagine somebody who is coming into being a Jehovah's Witness. They also focus on this part because they don't want you to be hanging out with your non-believing relatives, non-believing family. Slowly they have you begin to like cut ties with them so that your sole sense of community is the Jehovah's Witnesses. And that's a very easy tactic for you to be able to control somebody. You know, we're humans. We all crave a sense of community. We all crave connection. We all want to, you know, be around people who like accept us and love us.
Even disfellowship, and that's what rushes a lot of people to get back. They took away everything that you had. So it's like, dang, let me, whatever my thing is that I love to do that's against this, let me stop so I can go be with my family again.
So the next one is esteem. Like, the whole idea behind Maslow's hierarchy too, I think we should say, is that in order for your next tier to be met, like the tier underneath, like they all need to be met too. So to even get to the point of esteem, your physiological needs need to be, you know, met, safety needs, love and belonging, all of these things. So esteem includes respect, self-esteem, status, recognition, strength, and freedom. And I'll be honest, I feel like I did not even reach this until after I left being a Jehovah's Witness. I had it in a sense, you know, while I was a Jehovah's Witness, but it was different because I didn't quite know myself yet. You know, it was almost like it came off of like a false personality almost, you know?
Yeah, that's all of us as witnesses.
Yeah, because I didn't get to completely explore like who it is that I was or who it is that I wanted to be, or like not have any limits on what it is that I could learn.
Yeah, it makes sense because whatever you may be passionate about or have a yearning to do, you don't tap into it because you can't.
Yes.
You are constantly told you may love music. I know that's not, unless you do it for Jehovah.
Yeah.
Okay, or you know, I love science, or I love, you know, teaching or things like that. Oh, don't worry about that. That's worldly thing. Or you could do that in the new system. So all of your talents and everything inside you, you just can't explore it.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like any yearning that you have has to also have some kind of kingdom interest attached to it. So you can absolutely love music, but like your goal should be loving music and wanting to go to Bethel to perform. Yeah,
they have to basically benefit off anything you're good at. And if they don't, you can't do it.
Yes, if you're good at construction, they're like, okay, awesome, but like join the RBC. So you could really use your talents for Jehovah.
Yeah.
And like, who wants to do that? What if you want to build like huge skyscrapers or, you know, whatever the case is? No, that's too much schooling.
Yep, or run your own business on your own timing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, okay, but hire all Jehovah's Witnesses and, you know, whatever.
Don't forget that. And the last one is self-actualization. And that's your desire to become the most that one can be. And that's something like we were saying, you are held back on. You don't even think, what's my purpose in life as a Jehovah's Witness? And like we were saying, like when we were talking in DC, it's like going on a road trip with no destination. You just driving. And that's what it's like being a Jehovah's Witness. You just get up, dang, new system ain't here. Okay, let me study for my meeting. Let me do this. Let me go to work. And you just repeat. But you're not actually heading for a destination. And then once you realize this thing is a cult, you have to look within and go, all right, who am I in the first place?
Yeah.
And where do I even want to go? What am I typing in this GPS? Now you have a destination and you can keep up. All right, I'm driving to Georgia from Pennsylvania. All right, I'm at this point. Next I'll be here. Next I'll be here. And you're getting closer to a goal. And that's what it's like having a purpose in life. You have to have something to look for.
Yeah, for sure. And I think once you get up to that point, it's like, okay, you know who you are. You know, you have like your 2 feet on the ground and feeling like who it is that you are and where it is that you want to go. And there's actually another Maslow's that even surpasses the self-actualization, and there's a tier at the very top called transcendence, where you kind of just realize like, okay, like all your purpose is now to help other people, you know, versus just, you know, yourself kind of a thing. So it's transcendence at the very top, whenever you realize, you know, we're all kind of just here doing our thing, and we all kind of are just in this journey of life, figuring out who it is that we are and, you know, finding a purpose to help other people.
Yep, and we just kind of work together. All our journey is like a lane on a highway, and it's like billions of lanes.
Yeah.
But we all are going in the same direction. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yep. And that's kind of how this works. But this is just one part of our healing journal. And shout out to everybody who has got it. We have the link in the description. And we got more videos. We ain't going to give y'all everything from it. But we'll give y'all a couple little snippets here and there.
Yeah.
Because some people may think it's just like a long book. No, it's a real small journal like that.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of breaking down. Rebuilding after a cult. Like, what am I doing after this cult? Where do I go? Because there's a lot of people who have had the rug snatched from their feet.
Yeah.
Don't know where to go.
That is so true. And I still feel like the most important thing is just figuring out who it is that you are. Then everything else kind of comes, you know, like attracting the right type of people around you, your community and stuff. And even meeting different kinds of people, I think, helps you figure out who you are too.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
know, being exposed to different people, like even us moving to Atlanta was a big transition, you know. But I loved it because you meet all kinds of different people, different nationalities. Like even the unit that I work on is like so diverse, and you hear about every kind of background, every kind of situation, and I think that's important as humans to know people from other backgrounds, because then you realize the stuff that you may have suffered through in life are like probably not that big of a deal.
Yep, and everybody has a story.
Yeah.
Yep, it ain't just you.
No, not at all.
Yep, so let us know what y'all thought in the comments. We got a few more coming that's similar to this video. Hit us on our Instagram at Awaken Truths IG, our TikTok at Awaken Truths LLC.
And we have our healing journals. Okay, shout out to those. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch y'all in the next video.
Peace.